After both starting unemployed with the ultimate goal of who can lift the Champions League trophy first, Dad really thought he'd got an advantage getting the Coventry City job. However, after I took Mansfield from a relegation scrap to automatic promotion in just half a season, Dad's form at Coventry plummeted and he was sacked from his role. But after nailing the interview at Scottish Championship side Partick Thistle, Dad has found employment once again. But after getting rejected by Rotherham, I generally am considering still finding a new role because of how bad Mansfield's finances are. And there are clubs that are knocking around like Hull City in the Championship that I'm willing to take a gamble for and apply. But again, I wasn't getting any success. The situation I was facing was even players who would be interested in joining me on free contracts felt that the club had no financial muscle to even negotiate contract demands of them. Instead, I had to go for loan signings from our affiliate club Sheffield United where no cost was needed, which meant the quality of player wasn't that great either. And unfortunately, there are no jobs coming up that I was either interested in or that I stood a chance at getting. So for now, I'm staying put at Mansfield in League One while my dad has to sort out the Partick Thistle squad in Scotland. Squad-wise, I only managed to bring in 3 players and 1 actual signing, which was a free transfer, with the other 2 being free loans. Keeping with the same tactic, I added the new faces that were out on loan deals and have returned to the squad now. One being Will Swan, who has scored the only goal in the game against Dad's old side Coventry City in the league as I beat them 1-0. At Partick, Dad also struggled to bring in new players, with only 3 coming into 2 free transfers and Alfie Bavidge on loan from Aberdeen to play up front. And Dad's players were combining well at the start of the season to get Alfie on the score sheet and get him up and running. His tactic and system was very similar to mine, and it suits his side that he has got at Partick Thistle. The standard of football he's playing in the second tier of Scotland is not that great, and he's picked up some nasty injuries so far. Well, Dad, you're back in employment.
Yes.
Which is good.
I'm pleased with that. I thought I was going to struggle to get another job, but they've put their faith in me, so fingers crossed.
And after a quiet-ish transfer window than what I thought you would have, it's been a good start for you.
I'm really pleased with that, I must admit. I was a bit worried about how this team would sort of react to the tactic I had, but they reacted quite well, so...
I mean, this League Cup group that you've got there didn't qualify for that, but it's rare that you would with a team from the top division in there anyway, but you did quite well, to be fair. But in the games in the Scottish Championship, the second tier of Scotland, of course, which is where you are, a draw to kick things off against Raith, but then 4 wins in a row.
Yes, that gets me really going now, so the momentum is really good with the team at the moment.
Yeah, you're top of the league as you go in. The season preview actually puts you mid-table, so the fact that you're managing to do that is great. Just got to hope that it continues, and obviously you don't end up like Coventry.
Yeah, don't know what happened there.
No. But anyway, over to Mansfield. I've had a good start to the season. Speaking of Coventry, I absolutely done them 1-0 away from home.
Well done.
Yeah, that was the only time that I think you'd ever be hoping that I would win. I have actually lost to Exeter though, which of course, being from Plymouth, that's not great for us. I'm out of the cup, and I've also lost to Wickham, but it's been a decent start considering I'm in a tougher division for me. 15th place. If I could just stick around there for a season, then I'll be happy. But to be honest, with the lack of finances and stuff, I've really struggled this transfer window, bringing in very little amount of players, 1 permanent transfer and 2 loans. Like, I am really struggling here. I think I might be looking around the job centre this whole season. Yeah. I think that is going to be what I will be doing throughout the season, and we'll just have to see whether I can find something which I think it takes me a step up from Mansfield, or somehow miraculously Mansfield give me some money in the January, but
that ain't gonna happen, is it?
I doubt it with their looking at their finances. So yeah, we'll keep you posted and see how we get on. So both teams continues the start of the season with 2 very different objectives going into the second year. Dad's new side continued to play well and still found themselves commanding a lead at the top of the Scottish Championship. I was by no means near the top of my new league, but I wasn't struggling, and in fact I was surviving quite well considering the financial situation. But October time is when a lot of jobs started to appear, and one that caught my eye. Middlesbrough in the Championship, currently sat in 11th place and definitely worth applying for to try and obtain. But they ended up choosing Frank Lampard over me. Jobs then came up in Belgium, including Ghent, who are sat way down in the league than they're where they should be, as well as Standard Liège, who have fallen off recently too. However, neither of the clubs ever even wanted to interview me for their job. So I tried for Malacao in Portugal, who are currently sat in 15th place in the top flight and are looking for a new manager. Just not looking for someone like me, unfortunately. I was beginning Beginning to lose hope, and the last throw of the dice was Birmingham, who aren't in much trouble back in the Championship and actually have brought in some fantastic players. And they invited me in for an interview. This is promising. Nope, never mind, I take that back. I really thought I was going to get the Birmingham job, but never mind.
I did think you'd get it as well.
Yeah, I mean, I applied for enough jobs. I can't believe I didn't get any of them. But still, I'm going to stick with Mansfield for the rest of the season now. We're in January, and the reason why I was looking elsewhere is because I genuinely thought we might be in trouble. However, we're at the halfway point, and as you can see, I'm mid-table. I'm doing all right. Yeah, I think I was...
It's not a lot of points away, but...
I should easily avoid relegation. Yeah. They're not going to sack me if I finish around down here. Definitely because, not. You know, I've stayed up.
Yeah.
So I think just see the rest of the season out. See what happens after that. I definitely think that's the way for me to go. For you, though, Dad, this is exciting for you. You've got a bit of a title race going on to go into the top division.
Really pleased with this so far.
Only losing 4 games.
Yeah, so I'm really pleased with 41 points.
The goal difference is in your favour.
Yeah, so...
I mean, Alfie Bavidge has got 12 goals, so that's been a good loan signing for you. And the guy that you brought in on a free transfer is the highest average rating and the most man matches in the league. Yeah,
I'm pleased with this so far. That really helps me as well. So I've got to sort of build my reputation up a little bit as well. So
exactly.
That really does help me.
Yeah. So you're also in the semi-final of a cup, which is nice. Which
we do well in the cups in Scotland.
Yeah, you do. It's like
this one.
I think it's like everybody but the top division that's in this one. So you might stand a chance against Queen of the South, who are in League One, which is the league below. So you should really get to a final.
Yeah.
But I'm also in a situation where I'm in the quarterfinals. I've got to play Liverpool under 21s. There's a couple of big teams in there.
Is it?
No. So who knows? Papa John's? Maybe. And I've also got to get revenge against Exeter in the FA Cup. Well, I did just that, and I scored 1 goal against them in the FA Cup, but it was all I needed to knock them out. I did also beat them 3-0 in the League 2, which I was happy with, whilst also making my way up the league table too, might I add. Dad, however, was locked in an intense title race that he started to slip away from. There were other things for Dad to be celebrating, though, as manager of Partick Thistle. In fact, both teams had something to celebrate at the end of the season. Well, our league campaigns have ended. I am buzzing with a 9th place finish.
Well done. And you dropped off in your last game of the season.
Yeah, it would have been 8th.
So that's a shame, really.
But that's fine. Will Swan really stepped up, got 24 goals for me this season. However, the Papa John's Trophy...
Cup King gets in again. He wins himself a cup.
That's nice to add. No, not at all. For the reputation, that's really good. However, really Dad, good. You can be a little bit smug because you also won the Trust Trophy. 6-1 against Ayr United in the final.
Take that.
To be honest, though, that takes a back seat because for you, it's more about the promotion.
100%.
And you don't get automatic, unfortunately.
Lost it at the end, didn't I?
Yeah, so you go into the playoffs. Now, these two teams play against each other. You then play the winner.
Yeah.
And then the winner between those two plays against the relegation selection, which is going to be Dundee.
All that hard work could be just lost in this silly little games at the end, really, isn't it?
Exactly. So it's a playoff spot potentially for promotion that you're aiming for. Best of luck. See if you can redeem yourself. One relegation, do you get a promotion?
I lost less games in them Falkirk as well.
Yeah.
So I'm gutted about that.
It's just those draws.
Yeah.
All right, well, best of luck for the playoffs. The playoffs seen Dad play against Hamilton in the second round to face the team from the league above, and it went very well, as Dad breezed through comfortably to beat them 7-4 on aggregate. However, the league above had changed on the final day, and it meant Dad was now facing Kilmarnock instead to gain promotion. And after a tight first leg, Dad goes into the second, 1-goal advantage. But in that second leg, only 1 goal was scored, and it was slotted in by Aberdeen's Alfie Bavidge to give Partick Thistle and Omega Dad promotion. You got it done, Dad. You got it done. 2 wins over Kilmarnock in the relegation playoff. Yeah.
Good away win there, I think. That's what done me. That's really good.
Gotta be happy with that.
Yes, 100%.
3-1. Little tactical tweak there at the end.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, stopped I only had 2-1 win away from home. So I just dropped the attacking midfielder back into the defending midfielder, just to sort of make it a little bit tighter, and it worked for me.
Paid off.
Yeah, I was a bit worried that it was going to go a reaction against me and go against me.
Yeah,
but
going too defensive. But no, it paid off. Got a nice little 1-0 win. Promotion into the Premiership. However,
89th minute he scored in as well.
Yeah, it's not a lot of money that you've got going in there.
Into that league, isn't it?
So, I mean, reputation-wise, it might help you a little bit. You've gone up to a 2-star compared to where you was, but it's not going to help you too much. Now, Mansfield, of course, we know where we are. Money-wise, there isn't any. So, again, the finances are tough, which means I am considering applying for some more jobs. There isn't many that's come up right now. No. Would you consider moving at this point?
Yes.
Just after the one season?
Well, yeah, mainly because I've gone into an hard league and my team's not that good and I ain't got much money. So it's one of those things, isn't it? Do you sort of like try your best with what you got, or do you just quickly just move out of the way and go somewhere else?
Okay, well, let's see what other jobs pop up.
I would go with an half-decent job comes, yeah.
All right, well, I'm actively looking at this point because I think I can't take Mansfield any further. They're not going to back me anymore, so I'm actively looking to see if I can find a new job. So let's see if the summer brings any more vacancies. Dan stuck to his word of exploring his options and tried his luck applying for Rio Ave in Portugal, as well as Real Valladolid in Spain. Which, to be fair, as a job I also kind of fancied applying for myself. And the rejection emails started coming through. We then both applied for the Vitoria job in Portugal too, just trying our luck. But again, nothing came of it, unfortunately. However, a job in Dan's division in the top flight of Scotland, the Aberdeen role, was vacant and we were both applying. And I was very excited when they offered me in for an interview. But once again, I was unsuccessful as they hired Damien Duff instead. So we tried to make do with the very limited resources we had at our two current clubs. Oh, that was a tough summer.
Yeah, definitely. I lost quite a few players as well that didn't want to sign the contracts. So I mean, like I looked at my squad. I ain't got a squad.
No, we are struggling for players, both of us. We had so many players go out of contract and not a lot of money to replace them. I mean, at one point, you had like no left back.
No.
You've had to scrape through some kind of loan deals with two players that, you know, they're not getting paid much at all.
Yeah.
Or if anything, but, you know, you're having to use like a 16-year-old academy. You've had to actually start him in 2 games. That's how bad it's been. But some of the signings he did bring in was good. Maybe you just spent too much money in areas where you should have like spread it out a little bit more.
I needed an out-and-out striker, so Clark Harris was a good signing for me, I felt.
Yeah.
Look at that. You got to be happy with getting him in. I know he's 31, but you got to be happy with getting him in. So
yeah, he's
a couple
been good.
Positions I had to get players in, which really made me struggle from getting the other positions in. The goalkeeper, I was really struggling with a goalkeeper.
Yeah, but there's
2 really good signings there.
Yeah, they're coming in at quite high wages. That's though. You probably should have gone less wages and brought in more players. That might have been the better option for you. I mean, you did try and leave. You applied for enough jobs.
I did, yeah.
There was plenty of jobs that come up, but yeah, I mean,
no one's interested in me at the moment.
No, that's it. And unfortunately, I am also still at Mansfield, as much as I didn't want to be at this point. And again, transfer-wise, I really struggled. A lot of free transfers, a couple of loans as well. I haven't been able to spend a penny yet here at Mansfield. They're just not giving me anything. So we're going to have to see how this tactic keeps going, even though I'm kind of just making do with the players that already had. There's been a few good signings, like Devante Cole's come in this season. A couple of loan signings as well. I don't think I can carry on much longer. But again, nobody's really taken us up. I mean, my reputation hasn't been hampered with a relegation. It's only 2.5 stars. So it just goes to show the clubs that we are getting. I mean, some of them, like, it seems like a sideways step. You just go into another club that's just in exactly the same amount of trouble. It's not worth the hassle.
No, quite,
So at this point, we're kind of just biding our time and waiting to see who's going to pop up in October, November, December. If anything happens then, I am going to be trying my best to leave and see how we go.
I'll see how I am in the league. If I'm doing an half decent league, I might just stay, obviously, just to see it through.
Yeah.
For my reputation to get a bit better. So I've just got to see how I'm doing for the season, really.
I mean, myself, I've had a good start. That's one thing. I'm in the third place already, so I've had a good start. Unbeaten in the league, only lost 1 in the cup to Sheffield Wednesday. But you aren't doing as well.
No, that's the worrying thing. I mean, I've just said I'll try and see how I'm doing this season, but I've started off really bad.
Yeah, 2 draws and 4.
Sack again. That's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't like the worst thing. It's not like 4 losses from 4,
moment, isn't it, really?
but it is too early.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna have to see what happens. If anything comes up that really we fancy our chances at.
I mean, when you look at that, who would have thought Hearts would be bottom of the league?
Yeah, but they've had so much trouble recently. It's hard, and we're like 2 seasons in. But okay, we'll crack on with this season. Let's see if anything pops up and whether we stay at the jobs that we're at right now. As the season kicked on, we got to October and Dad was struggling with just one win so far this season. And as much as my Mansfield side was thriving still, I still felt like I needed to leave while I could. Because I'm not really quite sure if I could keep up these good performances with Mansfield while the finances just keep plummeting and jobs are appearing. After a big list of jobs appeared, I applied for 2 right off the bat. Hamburg in Germany, although slightly too ambitious I felt, but the other was NEC in the Netherlands, which I actually thought could be possible. But with Dad struggling at the bottom of the league, he also decided he needed to get out while he could, and he started to apply for jobs too, including the Hearts job in his own division. Birmingham City came in and gave Dad an interview though, and I was then declining an interview from Cardiff, a job I hadn't even applied for. I just wanted to get out of England, I felt. So I was buzzing when NEC gave me an interview, but I never got the role. Dad was given a chance by Hearts to plead his case as to why he should leave Parr to become their new manager. Birmingham responded with a rejection letter for Dad, which we are both used to seeing now, and the same with Hearts, who also didn't want him. He then also needed to attend an important meeting, or else his job was gone. Finally though, a job offer for me to leave Mansfield, who are in the playoffs, and as sad as it would be leaving the club to first give me a chance, I was very happy to accept the offer from the Eredivisie side for Tuna Sittard to become their new first-team coach. However, Dad had an even bigger decision because after all of those rejections, 2 clubs have come in for his services at the same time. But which one should he take? Well, I have a new club for Tuna Sittard. They also play in yellow, so it helps, I guess. In the Eredivisie, I'm happy for that little move into a top division in Europe, which is nice. And they're not actually that much in trouble.
No.
If anything, 22 points, 17 is the relegation playoff spot. I can deal with that. Nice little mid-table finish.
One thing they did say was that that's where they want to finish as well, mid-table, wasn't it? So that's a bonus as well for you, really.
So I will take that. I mean, the last manager was sacked, Danny Boyce, but I don't know where they expected him to go. So, yeah, I mean, at this point, we've got no money whatsoever, so I'm used to that anyway. Well, that's fine. But we're just going to have to see what we do. Now, this man also used to be the manager of Mechelen.
Yeah.
Funny that, because Dad has a decision to make. Because Sheffield Wednesday has approached you to become their new manager, but also Mechelen looks like they are about to approach you to become their new manager. Now, the difference between the two, do you go to the Belgian top league at a club that is bottom of the league right now, with enough time to make a difference and try and get them out?
Early days.
Exactly. And financially, you got £9 million in there.
That's a good amount of money in that league.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah. That's good. And they got a smiley winky face on their kit.
That helps, doesn't it?
That does help, yeah. Or do you go to Sheffield Wednesday, who are in Sky Bet Championship, so you go back to England.
In the Championship?
In the Championship, where you need to redeem yourself with no money, but they've just actively approached you in 13th right now, so they're safe. You can get them relegated, surely. If you get them relegated, you don't deserve to be in the next video.
That's the problem.
There's no way you'd be able to get to a Champions League if you got 2 clubs relegated from the same division.
Yeah.
But that's a decision you got to make. And that's a decision we'll have to all wait on. So, let's find out.